because that is pretty crazy. Thank you so much. 3 whole years, dude. How does it feel? Do you feel accomplished? Do you feel like it's been worthwhile? Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Okay. Game number 1 of this best of 5. In the top left-hand side, our red Terran player. This is Dream. Taking on the blue Zerg player to the bottom right-hand side, Rogue from Generic Green Wings. Current GSL finalist. As crazy as that is. He's going to be playing some ZvT in that finals. I mean, taking on his teammate. It's going to be pretty wild. It really is. So, very excited to see what happens with that. Namshar hype, damn. Well, there's no... Unfortunately, I don't have any Namshar games today, just with the way the scheduling has worked. But we obviously do have Namshar still alive. We'll play the winner of this series, actually. Again, that will not be today, but another day. Today's schedule is actually Rogue versus Dream, and then we jump up to the other section of the lower bracket, which is going to be Showtime versus Clem, the winner versus Nice, and then the winner of that versus Euthermal. So, come Terrans and Protoss players in the other sections. So this is only TVZ initially. Of course, the Lenovo Legion Invitational later. We've got a load of action for you guys in that. There's a lot of games coming up. We got like, I mean, that's going to be like 7, 8 best of 3s at least. We'll cast. Harsam's going to be joining me for the cast as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, going to be a busy day of StarCraft 2. So do you see this Overlord of Rogue heading up to the top side of the map? Barracks is about to finish up this first Reaper, and a Marine to come out pretty quickly here from Dream as well, just being safe in case a couple Zerglings show up. But this is nothing out of the ordinary, there's nothing crazy. Fueling's on the way. Faster third hatchery means we will not see a second Queen just yet. This is a very typical way for Koreans to open. They really like getting this fast third hatch up, a little bit slower on the gas, and just eventually getting to that Zergling speed. We have seen a lot of pneumatized carapace openings early on in these matches as well in ZvT lately, so we'll see if Rogue does that. I mean, Dream is a player who will generally play quite aggressive, so being able to pick up on that sort of information right from the start is obviously pretty vital. Hatchery on the third base, as we do see this Reaper back across, can hop up towards the main. A few Zerglings there hanging out on the ramp, wanting to be a little bit careful there. A little bit of back and forth, as we do just have, again, Reaper is trying to poke around, trying to see what else is going on. Third CC drops in on the main base. Again, that rolling, and again, just going to be seeing this Reaper moving around a lot at the moment. Hellions on the way out of this factory as well, so getting those set up to go. Reaper pops down a grenade, pops the Queen around a little bit. Nothing crazy, guys. Nothing crazy at all. As we see, lane speed is coming up to completion here in the next few moments. Stimpak getting started on the barracks. And again, that third command center just going to be up and running nice and quickly here. The fact Rogue hasn't gone Overlord speed, though, is nice for him because he doesn't really want to see... No, he doesn't need Overlord speed to get the scout off this third CC. He'll scout it anyways with this slow Overlord. This is completely fine, right? You don't need a scout super early for this, etc. It's not the end of the world if it gets denied, so... For Rogue, not spending that gas early on just allows him to boost up that economy a bit. Yes, you probably want to get Overlord speed a bit later in the game, but the later you build it, the later you invest that gas, the more you can focus on your economy early. Uluason, I never know how to say your name easily, but thank you so much for the 2-month resub. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. There's a couple of Queens turning the Hellion away there. Is Port here today? Well, Port resub, but I feel like that was when we were on the countdown of the stream, so I feel like he's kind of here, but maybe he's in hiding because he hasn't replied since I didn't. You know, I shouted him out and everything, and he didn't even reply. How about that, eh? Talk about being abandoned. He just comes in here to flaunt his 3-year resub, and he gets on out. Disgraceful. 5 extra gases being taken by Rogue as his lair halfway completed. Dream is still just setting up. I mean, Stim going to be done in a moment. Ooh, Rogue's going to drop Roachroar and double Evo Chamber. Maybe with 6 gases as well, though. And he knows it's against Bio. Maybe just some kind of big Roach bust. He has got a lot of gas saved up at the moment, but he's also still droning, right? Like, he's about to be on 70 workers. He's very effectively identified, okay, you're on fast 3cc, you can't really harass me. I'm just going to drone. There's the 1-1 upgrade starting on up here. They're going to be done in a couple of minutes. Medivacs from Dream on the way out on the starboard, and do you have a good amount of units here from Dream as well? Marines, a couple of Hellions, all gathered up. As Zergman runs up into the third base, he's going to go after Emil. Starting to deal some damage there. So Mule taking some hits as SCVs will pull in as well. The Mule is going to be saved. SCVs. Heroes of the day right there. Did you just see 15 roaches on the way up? Again, Rogue just pressing forwards and looking for a bit more information. Obviously, he's already picked up some info this game, as 2 more barracks will go down, so that's up to 5 racks. Dream dropping over the right side. I mean, Rogue is about to get aggressive, though. Nidus Network coming up. He is in a position where he's got a lot of roaches. They're going to have +1, +1. And Dream is going to have to be on the all-out defensive here in the very near future. I feel like, I mean, he's not even building siege tanks yet, so how on earth is he going to deal with this roach play? He sees the roaches now. He's going to have to be so on top of the Nidus networks and really stop those from coming up. Otherwise, this is going to be extremely problematic. Marines drop back down. I mean, obviously, Marines being across the map don't really do much for you unless you can really keep units at home. This was a bit of a mistake by Dream, a bit of a slow pickup. Lings are back on that third base for like the 3rd time already. They've been there multiple times now, and Rogue just picking off economy as again he sets up into a lot of roaches. And he is, honestly, as +1/+1 gets finished, he is going to commit to some kind of aggressive attack. We'll start to clean out some Lings there. We still don't see a Nidus network, so we're still yet to see any sort of form of Nidus aggression. It's just the fact that we do have a ton of roaches moving into the middle of the map, and I don't know why Dream would be out here trying to fight this. Obviously, he has half the army supply. It's a big Roach Ravager attack. He is not set up defensively at all. His siege tank production is extremely latent, while Rogue is just going to bust his way through this first game without too many issues, I believe, because this Roach Ravager force is moving in pretty good numbers. And there's the Nidus in the main, which did not get shut down. And at this point, we might as well be saying goodbye to Dream in game number 1 at least. Rogue just looking a little bit too... No, I don't even know if it's too good, as much as Dream just underperformed in terms of taking this attack seriously. There's no way you hold off this many Roaches and Ravagers. You know, you need some kind of defensive setup. And tank behind this wall up is nice now, but that could have come in a while ago. And you've also got Roaches reinforcing into the main. You're never going to be able to realistically deal with that. You have to be on top of this from the very beginning. I'm not completely convinced just yet what's going to happen so far. So I'm just waiting for some confirmation there from the... Well, we'll see if Rogue advances first, basically, because if he gets eliminated, that worry is disappeared. If he gets through, then obviously it's a bit more of a problem, so then we have to do something about it. It's just a bit rough, because next week I go to Germany on Saturday for literally a day. I leave on the Saturday, I come back on the Sunday. It's some good fun. I like it, though. You know, you go away to work away for like 1 day. It's got potential to be... It's just nice because it means I'm not going to miss many streams, you know? That's what's so great as Rogue. Up to the top side of the map. Those 2 barracks of Dream dropping down over here, so getting those set up to go. Extractor drops in from Rogue as well in the main base. Going to get his spawning pool down, so hatch gas pool here early on. Rogue is going to continue up to the top. Has gone past those couple of barracks here over on the side, so not able to see the proxy racks. That's already a good start here for Dream, getting away with this, and this should go obviously fairly well for him. It's only 2 racks, so it's not a complete all-in either, which is even better in a way when it's not a scout, because now, you know, you're more likely to do damage while also still transitioning back at home. One of the more common ways we've seen a 2 racks go is after the Marine production seems to be done, after your 2 racks is somewhat shut down, then players, you know, start to actually add in a couple of Reapers, and they generally tend to go from there. Board here does see this, so the first idea that Rogue has of this now is in time for drones to be pulled, and, well, his hatchery finishes, Queens begin. That one Marine wants to jump in this bunker, will get in it, that's fantastic, but now other Marines are going to be blocked from coming over. The drones split into 2 different directions. And obviously, if you can stop these Marines from getting into the bunker, that's pretty fantastic, and that is what's happening. He's losing a lot of mining time here, though, Rogue. I mean, he's only got 6 workers left mining at this point. Obviously, he's continuing to shut down a lot of these Marines. One more pops out. We still only have one Marine in this bunker. You can see the 2 SCVs coming up. Should probably try and get in the bunker, yeah. And then they can jump out and repair it, of course, if required. Although, maybe a little bit late to jump out and start repairing. That one single Marine inside just doesn't do damage very quick. So this is working out for Rogue. He now has a few Lings left over, and you can see already, I mean, Dream building the Reaper. Factory coming up back at home as well. He's already transitioning away from this. Some transition away from this as these Marines going to be pulling back around. A few more Zerglings continue to drop down. All 3 of those Marines cleaned up. With a grenade, of course. Dream is down here because he lost against Vanya in the round of 16 in a bit of a shocking series. It's kind of funny because in a way, Vanya kind of is like a European Rogue. Obviously, he's not quite on the level of Rogue. He's obviously not as successful, but does have very similar playstyles, you know? And, you know, Rogue is definitely one of the Zergs who is not afraid, we just saw in the first game, to go for roach timings, mix in Nidus networks, etc. And, you know, Vanya has that sort of aggressive style to him, like sort of aggressive flavor to his play as well. So in that regard, it's actually kind of interesting because it's almost like if Dream is weak to that, he should be pretty weak to Rogue here because he definitely didn't look good fighting against Vanya in the winner bracket. I'm going to come back, drop down in Jet. We said just a single Reaper pop out. And that Reaper is now headed in towards the main base, so just continue to move around with this. The barracks turned away. Pretty good information here from Dream, as obviously he gets to see pretty much everything going on. He's got Rogue kept down to just 2 bases as his own natural command center comes up, so Rogue is down a base from where he might want to be. One drone saved just about. The Reaper will hop up to the high ground yet again, and again just continue to wander around to be as annoying as possible over the next few minutes. It drops down once again here as Zerglin Speed is about to complete the barracks of Dream. Continuing up to the upper left-hand side, the 4 Hellions in the medevac will be coming down to the bottom, and yeah, looking to see what's going to happen in all of this. The 4 Hellions down the bottom here as Rogue Zerglings just running around the top side, and Reaper of Dream fires a shot, lifts up those Hellions and goes in toward the main base. Reaper and 4 Hellions as Queens and Lings, well, the Lings take a bit of a beating there right away. Hellions are going to lift up and go back into that medevac, moving up to the top side, and again, these Queens of Rogue coming along, going to come out the front, and again, Reaper Hellions pushed back for the moment as we do see Zerglings running around all over the place. The 3rd hatch from Rogue is about to be up and running. Good defense from Rogue, stopping, you know, Dream getting in there, stopping Dream from dealing a good little bit of damage. It's exactly what Dream wants to be doing at this stage, right? Shutting down drones. Oh no, that's a gap in the wall of not yet filled. And Rogue's going to get right in on top of a couple of Hellions there as well. The other Hellions are still in this medevac all the way on the other side of the map. Oh, this is absolutely a disaster, right? I mean, we're seeing multiple SCVs drop down. You know, SCVs are pulled on the natural as well. One absolute disaster. And they're still coming forwards. A few more SCVs taking hits. More drones on the way out. A couple extra Evo chambers added on as well. Those couple extra Lings continue to fall, and, well, this is just about going to be, as those Lings go down, it's kind of already it, right? Like, he's just taken so much damage from this. 13 SCVs fell. One simple Ling run by. Dream didn't have a wall off in place. And boom, that's kind of it. Now, he does get a few drones on the return, at least, as medevac able to make some use of itself, and in the end, I mean, this is one of the weaknesses of having those Hellions in medevac, especially when they get deflected so easily. It gives Rogue the freedom to go across the map and counterattack like he did, and that's why he's able to do this here. You know, usually those Hellions would be out the front, they'd be looking for Zerglings like that, and Dream would be able to deal with it. But because the medevac was over there, and because Rogue knew about it, he could make that decision, and it was a perfect way to shut it down. Gonna see Hellions and so on just continuing to set up at the moment. Combat shield upgrade coming in from Dream. I mean, he is in a lot of trouble here. Down 26 workers. His army supply is good, but he will not have upgrades as fast as Rogue will. So we are really at a point of... Well, we're really just at a point of Rogue is kind of winning this game. All he has to do is really hold off this one fight, because as long as he does that, this game should end pretty soon afterwards, honestly. There's not much Dream can do, so here we go. Dream looking for that one big fight. Drops this tank down, and it's a pretty nice little position for the siege tank to hang around in as Hellions and Marines go pressing forwards. Queens taking some damage as well. A few extra creep tumors starting to go down. Extra creep tumors continue to go down, and well, I mean, there's Banelands here, there's Queens here. What are you meant to do? It's hard to make it exciting because it is just a disaster. As Rogue now unloading Lings in the main base too, and he's about to run in with those. I mean, Dream, he's going to be like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, my units are just moving out as well. It's the worst possible time for Rogue to run in from Dream's point of view. And that's exactly when Rogue is pretty much going to run in. I mean, he hasn't gone yet, but he should go soon, and there we go. I mean, honestly, as he loses more SCVs here, is there any form of recovery? We also have Lings darting around over here. They're going to hit the third base in the next couple of moments. And, well, we still just see Dream trying to press forwards. That's how desperate he is right now, as SCVs continue to fall. Lings in the main natural third. They are absolutely everywhere. Dream has to go, and he has to make some magic happen. But he's down in upgrades. He's against Baneland speed. There's creep to work with, and he doesn't even take the fight because the counterattack is doing too much, and he knows for sure that he is not going to win this fight. Even bopping Dream so far. Unfortunately, it's been a pretty one-sided affair up until this point, as in the bottom right-hand side. Our red Terran player from Brave Star Gaming is Dream. Up against the blue Zerg in the top left-hand side, we have got Rogue. Game 3 of this best of 5 series. I'm excited to see what Dream is going to do to try and get back in this. Obviously, last game his Proxy 2 Rex didn't exactly do amazing, so that obviously wasn't great for him in the first place. But he was in a playable position, but it was that Ling run by, and from there, you basically are just set to be an all-in. And that was, again, such a great move from Rogue, identifying the Hellion drop in the main, identifying that means there's less likely to be Hellions at home, and realizing, okay, well, in that case, I can get Lings across the map, and because I've defended so well here, boom, across the map I go. Now, it's a really well-done job by Rogue, who has been very cautious scouting of these potential proxied barracks here at the moment. So Overlord is going to be coming along, out over to the center and maybe down to the bottom side. Have a look to see what's going to happen there. As the Reaper on the way up from Dream, getting that ready to go, and a couple of drones on the way out, so we really are just setting up here nicely on Thunderbird. I mean, obviously Thunderbird is one of the more difficult maps to end the game early on, but it is also one where the Terran player will not have too much trouble pushing, because it's not large. It's large, but it's not large in the sense that you can't push bases. You can push into here quite easily, which is typically a fourth base of the Zerg. And you can drop around quite nicely on this map as well, so it makes bio play very possible if Dream wants to continue with that bio style. Reaper here from Dream comes out over to the right and is going to be moving again up through the top side to see what we can get up to. What's up, Walter72, coming in for the Twitch Prime sub for 2 months. Thank you so much, Walter72. Much appreciated. As you'll see, this Reaper is going to go after a couple of drones. Thank you so much, Walter72. Do appreciate it, dude. Thanks. A couple of resubs at the start of the day. Love to see it. Yeah, it's going to be a nice long stream today, guys. So settle down, get set up, and just enjoy StarCraft with me all day is basically what you're going to do. That's what I'm going to do as well. It's going to be fun. As I can see it chasing the Reaper away down the right-hand side. Zergling speed is on the way up. Queen on the way out as well. So getting that rolling too, as we do have the Queen of Rogue coming in from the natural expansion. And again, just going to be seeing a couple of Hellions popping out. They're going to be coming through in a few moments' time. So getting those couple of Hellions up and running. Going to be coming across the map. Tech Lab dropping down from Dream in the main base. The 2 Hellions going to be here in the next couple of moments, so Getting those up as we do see Pneumatized Carapace, Zergling Speed being added in as well. That Reaper is chasing down this drone. Looked quite eager to try and get a hold of it, but didn't quite make it there in the end. Stimpack upgrade getting started. 2 extra barracks, so we are going to be seeing Bio again. Nice to just confirm that, of course, get an idea of what is going to be played out in the next little while. Now, if Rogue doesn't get aggressive, if Rogue doesn't end this game early, I would like to see how strong his mid and later game ZvT are right now, because, again, for as good as Rogue is, we do tend to think of him as, you know, one of these players who can absolutely play macro, but does sometimes lean quite heavily on the ability to kind of throw a couple of all-ins in there and to kind of get this going. So, yeah, really intrigued to see just where he's kind of at in his ZvT macro at the moment, as we do see a couple of Evo Chambers just continuing on up. That's going to be popping in a couple moments' time. And again, this Overlord of Rogue heading down to the lower right. Body boats continue to build up here again. SCVs are having a good little bit of time out in the way. Starport swaps over to the reactor factory. Down onto a reactor as well, with 1+1 melee and carapace coming through. Upgrades this time from Dream aren't that far behind. And obviously neither player has really taken a lot of early damage. And that's obviously great, because so far Dream has just been struggling to kind of stay in those games. How were the first 2 games? Were they worth watching? I wouldn't like to say they're the craziest games of all time. Rogue has just been having a pretty good series up until now. A couple of cool moves, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was anything spectacular. Dream's had a couple of mistakes, really, and it's really cost him heavily when he has made those couple of mistakes, and that's what he's really being punished for at the moment as a Baneling. That's dropping down in the 3rd base. We do see the 2 medevacs of Dream. They are coming out over through the center of the map, heading over to the left-hand side. Zerglings of Rogue running around the bottom, and again, those 2 medevacs far left, getting ready to perhaps run up in toward the natural expansion. So it's going to be Baneling drops from Rogue, so changing up a little bit from what we saw before, which was just the Zergling drop into the main. See how well this Bane drop ends up doing. A lot of this is just obviously paying attention and being able to react in time. If you kind of see it coming in plenty of time, you can pull your SCVs away, and you shouldn't really lose much. Like, you know, you lose 3 or 4. If you lose like 3 or 4 Banelings for like 3 or 4 SCVs, you know, it's kind of actually a good trade for the Terran player, because, you know, those workers, you know, those Banelings aren't cheap, they cost gas at 0. Let's see what happens. Good pull away. And this should be, again, minimized damage. A couple of Marines stimming over to start dealing some hits, and, well, it just needs the extra Marines to come up. Oh no, poor Dream. Oh, that's actually brutal. He blows up a barracks as well. This is so much more than he ever should have lost. SCV is just getting clumped up there for whatever reason. They weren't on Mineral War command. That actually is a shame. That's a little bit heartbreaking, because he did what he was meant to deal with that. Just a couple little errors as he was just struggling to clean them up in time. As well, slow Banelings here, as we see the Widow Mines don't really get much of a chance to go off on anything. Actually, they go off on a couple lings here and there. Medevac with a couple units inside goes down as well. Dream is just completely shut down, and Rogue, well, he shut that down while banking money to build Mutalisks. That's how good of a position he seems to be in. That's how bad of an attack this turned out to be for Dream. Don't even know what's happening to Dream here. It's just not going, you know, these games are just not going his way in any way, shape, or form. Absolutely not. It's turned out to be a real disaster. A few units over to this side. Not sure what they were positioning for. Maybe they're expecting to drop into this natural, or maybe there already was a drop that I missed out on. Okay. I did see this Overlord before, but last time it wasn't a Dropper Lord, and so I was just like, okay, it's not a Dropper Lord. And I just assumed it still wasn't a Dropper Lord, but apparently that's just incorrect of me. Marines are going to boost over there. This is a good idea. Clean up this Overlord and put yourself in a position where you can stop them drops continue to come in. That's actually really nice. Stops the Baneling drop from coming through. That's a job well done. He's going to come up and intercept the Widow Mine drop, though, and the Widow Mines will get shot down before they get to fire, so Again, doing everything right at the moment. Rogue cleaning things up pretty convincingly. Yeah, really good job from Rogue, all said and done here. Really good job from Rogue. Alright, Lings and Mutas down the right, as we do see a couple more Banelings do connect on a few extra SCVs. It's this drop lord now that's been annoying, and maybe Dream wants to do the same sort of thing. Jumping over to the other side and just cleaning that up, because, again, this Rogue kind of just toying with Dream in a way. Well, there's a Widowmine drop, and those drones are a little bit clumped, but somehow the Widowmines managed to go on the least clumped set of drones possible. It's still up into the main base here. Lings and Banes running around in the center. The medevac is going to get chased down, shot down out of the skies. Bunch more Banelings morphing in the center of the map. Creep Team is spreading forwards. Also putting themselves into a pretty good spot here. Again, there's that Ling Bane army from Rogue. Seeing where it wants to go. We're going to see the Mutas and Overseers are going to come along to the right now. Mine goes off, actually soaking up a lot of the Widowmine shots with the Overseer. That was actually really nicely done as well, obviously. Man, really doing a great job of this at the moment, as we do see missile turrets are continuing to be denied at the moment. That's a nice Widowmine and Thor coming in as well. Rogue just keeps up this pressure. Now Nidus Network coming through too. He's on Hive Tech, he's going Ultra's Cavern. What is Dream doing? I mean, he's sat back on 4 bases and he just has no presence on the map. He has no pressure to apply. He is in such a weak position. There is truly not much for Dream to do here. Like, every time he'll try and move out, there's just going to be Zerglings and all sorts more waiting to greet him. This is truly looking to be quite disastrous for Dream, and after Dream had such a good run in the Korean regionals, hit top 4, was only just knocked out in that top 4. It's really a shame to see him just not really performing in our finals event. Not just a shame, but kind of just a surprise as well. He never got to play Rogue in that regionals due to the just the different places they came into play. Bio still pushing up to the top. Dream setting up to push in towards these bases. I mean, just cleaning everything out when he can. I mean, this is the right-hand side of the map. The problem with this right-hand side is it's harder for Dream to rally up here than it would be to rally through this group spread to this base. So reinforcements are coming in a bit slower. Also, Rogue, there's nothing stopping him setting units around the bottom side here and flanking in. He's not doing that just yet, though. At the moment, he's just setting a few Banelings forwards whenever he needs to. Also going to use the Mutalists here and there to help, although the Widowmine goes off quite nicely. So Dream giving himself a bit of a chance, perhaps. Widowmine still not finding the best of connections. And those few Banelings that do connect do a good job at least of cleaning up the Zerglings. The Marines, sorry. A couple more Widowmines continue to go off. The Marines continue to get absolutely destroyed here. Another Widowmine going off right away there. And again, now we're going to see Mutas going to chase down these medevacs and Dream. That's the issue. Not just cleaned up, but reinforcements are getting caught on their way over when actually you kind of just want to get out of there with whatever you can. Dream doesn't really want to fight here. Wants to get back up, wants to regroup. He's actually, 63 SCVs is definitely a bit lower than he'd like it to be. You know, being up at 75 to 80 right now is very good, especially when you're looking to consistently keep trading like he has been doing. This Nidus is going to get off, and he will be able to unload a few units if he'd like to. And just get a few Zerglings out there, and the lack of target fire means that the Marines will not finish off the Nidus, so actually as many Lings as Rogue would like will start coming out of this, although the Marines still did a good job buying time. And the Lings are going to get back in that Nidus to then basically just be the end of this. Another Nidus was building, but to no real success. Now a Nidus in the main base lined up, and Marauders here. That will be a shutdown. Very quickly, very easily. But again, these are all just moves that are keeping... Ooh, Widowmine shot. That's a really good Widowmine shot, actually. Wow. Just killed a ton of Banelings. Talk about getting some redemption here. Dream giving himself a chance or two off of just a very, again, you have to say, a fortunate attack. But, Widowmine just forgotten about there by both players, really, more than anything else. As the medevac will go down. The Widowmines are dead. It's another good cleanup, although now Dream pushed up the right side, and Rogue, having lost a good chunk of Banes there, is perhaps going to struggle to have, again, immediately enough numbers to really deal with this. So, right away. Dream's attack does look a bit scary. Nidus pops up in the natural, dead. Or third base, sorry, dead right away. Main base coming to 2. Again, needs all moves though, just to try and keep Dream busy, to keep Dream pinned back with as many units as possible. These Banes are happy to give themselves for the cause of trying to bust through the Marauder line. A few Thors mixed in, definitely scary when it comes to the mutas, but not many of those left. There are Ultras on the field now. 3 upgrades in play for both Terran and Zerg, so Ultras should trade pretty well. Even better Ultras across the map, actually. They're not easily cleaned up by a low amount of units. It takes a real commitment, and so using those aggressively like this is really going to keep Dream busy, although really good by Dream. Great Sim City. Widowmine shots are very good. That was a very good defense, considering that was a couple of Ultras, and again, a couple of Ultras are never easy to turn around and shut down, so that was, that really was well done. Well, our Bio's still gathering on the top. Marines, Marauders, a few more Widowmines on the way out, as we do see another Nidus on the left side is going to be killed. Rogue is just consistently throwing these down. Derry, look how many have been killed. 10 Niduses already. It's 500 of resources, so it's quite a significant investment from Rogue. Consider that he's not really ever done much with them, apart from keeping some units pinned back here and there. Those Widowmines get a lot of the Zergling kills. The mutas are going to continue over too, but reinforcements should deal with that. These Balins go down. There's only a few Balins left. Dream's push is still very scary. Now, the fact that this is only Marauders is really a shame, because those mutas shouldn't be doing much more right now. An Ultrask runs in on its own. That's not going to do it much justice. And that's going to be a hatchery. It's going to be falling down, so Rogue going to lose his hatchery here. Oh my god. Do have mutas going to take down another supply depot. Marines, a couple of Marauders continue to move out as well. And now the Nidus does get off to the left side. If at first you don't succeed, try, and try. Times 10 times, try again. And then you will succeed, and that's exactly the story of this Nidus network. It really never gave up. As, oh my god, a medevac full of units gets taken down. Dream just trying to do something to stay back in this and to make this interesting with those drops, etc. But it's just going even worse for him. Yeah, he picked off this base, and it feels like that was just it. Like, that's where the story ends for Dream. He gets a base, and from this point on, I mean, what do you do? Rogue doesn't even care about the base. He's expanding down the left-hand side. He's got his own attacks going on as well, dealing a real significant amount of damage on bases which are the only bases of Dream, and which are therefore very important to keep up. The 5th base can't land because the Zergling's nearby. There is just nothing that Dream can do right now. Rogue is controlling this massively, and tell you what, that top right base might have gone down as well, but there was no creep on the right side of it because Dream had pushed it back multiple times over. Now there's creep in front of every base, bar this one down in the bottom left, which I don't even believe Rogue has. It's just, that's how ahead he is. He's just expanding everywhere without care. Why would you care? You know, in a scenario where he is absolutely leading this game, he very much so knows it. Even if this base gets attacked by a drop or so, there's a good chance he can clean up. And at the end of the day, there's a very good chance he gets a decent amount of mining off of it, because Dream is not in a position to really punish it. Another Widowmine shot that cleans up quite a few of the Zerglings. Widowmines, if anyone, has been the real MVP for the Terran player here in the last little while, as you will see the Zerg's going to chase up, and, well, Widowmine drop denied. No damage done from that. And again, it's just going to be Rogue continuing to just look amazing in this first set of games. And that is Dream going to be given up, I believe. Things running out the front. GG is called, and Rogue is going to take the 3-0.